Hello, welcome to another video from me, Mr. Morrison. So today we're going to do some data logging with the microbit, and we're going to log movement, and that's why I've attached my microbit to a paper plate so I can shake this paper plate like this so it can represent movement. It could be representing an earthquake, movement, or anything like that. So let's first get coding and then I'll explain how this works after we've coded it. So for my movement logger, I need on start, but I don't need forever. So I also need to go into extensions and choose data logger, which is usually the first result. I also need to set a variable and make this variable logging. So this means I've got a variable that I know when logging's on and off. So set logging to is my first bit, and go into logic and find false. So set logging to false. Then I'm going to show an icon, X, and I'm going to set columns. So go into data logger, set columns. For this one, it's quite easy. I only have one column and I'm going to call it acceleration, because that's the movement that we've got. Then I'm going to go into on button A pressed, and I'm going to set logging to, and then find my true again. So this time it's true and not false. It'll come up with an error, but that's okay because it's set itself. And then I'm going to go into basic, and I'm going to show an icon, and I'm going to make it a tick. Then I'm going to duplicate this, and I'm going to change it to B, to false, and across like that. Next, I'm going to have my bit that's actually recording the data. So I need to be in loops, and I'm going to have an every. And I want this to be recording very quickly. So every 100 milliseconds is every 10th of a second, so that's very, very quick. And I'm going to have if true then, and find in variables logging, and it fits in there. I'm going to have a icon, let's make it a heart, and I'm going to log with data logger, log data. My column is acceleration, and my value this time is acceleration strength, which we'll find in here. So acceleration, and change that to say strength. So now I have set it to strength. That's good to go. The next thing I'm going to do is have something happening for on button A and B, and that's going to be resetting the log. So I'm just going to have it show an icon. Let's make it a skull, because that means we've removed everything. And then in data logger, we're going to have delete log, and we're also going to have a set columns, and we'll set column to acceleration. So we're back to the start there. And finally, I need something to happen when the log is full. So in data logger, on log full, we will go into variable set logging to, and then false. It'll complain for a second, and then it'll disappear. And then finally, we're going to go into basic, and we're going to show LEDs, just so I've got a display that comes up to show it's full, and that's just with all the LEDs on. And that is my movement data logger ready to go. Download this onto a microbit and record some data. So to record our data, we want to press button A, and then this is recording movement data. So let's do lots of moving, and I could stop for a minute and then move. Oh, it's come undone, but that's okay. And stop, and then move, stop, move, stop. Okay, so this could be movement data. You could attach it to your arm or leg, and it could record your movement somewhere else as well. But I've recorded enough movement there that I can show you what this looks like. So what you need to do is you need to press button B to stop the recording, and then plug this into a computer or attach it wirelessly to a device so that we can access this data. So to access our data, we need to plug in the microbit to the computer and then find it under My Computer in your files. And within the microbit, you will see 3 files: Details, Microbit, and My Data. We want to open the My Data file. You might need to copy this to your documents before your computer allows you to open it. Once you've got it open, for our movement, we have the different acceleration numbers over time here. And if I go and click Visual Preview, it'll give me a nice line graph of that. So very similar to a earthquake reading that you might have seen online. We see the bit where I was shaking it a lot there and the bit where I wasn't there. You can also show it as a different graph, but for this kind of data, a line graph is the only one that is useful. Thank you for watching, and I hope to see you in another video very soon.